Hello everyone. Welcome to the session of English again. Well, in this session, we'll discuss vocabulary again. In the first part of vocabulary, we started one word substitution. In this part as well, we'll continue with one word substitutions. So let's continue with the session and learn some more one word substitutions. So, in that part, we had discussed 41 word substitutions. Now we'll learn some more. So here we have 41st one word substitution, that is an entrance hall in a building used by public, especially a hotel or a theater. Now if we go to cinema, theater, and we enter somewhere by a place, enter the place by an entrance. So that entrance is known as foyer. It's not foyer. R is silent over here. It's foyer. So we enter the cinema theater by a foyer. That cannot be corrected. We do many mistakes in our life and we want them to be corrected, but that cannot be corrected. So what's that is not be corrected, that cannot be corrected? What is it called? It is called incorrigible, that we cannot rectify it now. It cannot be rectified. That cannot be rectified as incorrigible. A person skilled in cutting, dressing, and laying stone in buildings. We know well, one who makes buildings is known as mason. A doctor who attends to bone problems. Now, there are various doctors, or you can say specialists, different specialists. One who treats bones, one who treats children, the doctor of women. There are various doctors. One who is a specialist of skin, one who is a specialist of ear, nose, and throat. So there are various types of doctors or different doctors. Now, one who attends to bone problems means if you have any bone problem, you would go to an orthopedist. So this is orthopedist. So pedist is used for a doctor and ortho for the bones. So orthopedist is a doctor. When you find any problem in your bone or anyone else, you would go to an orthopedist. One who is violently against established traditions and beliefs. One who don't want any change in religion and religious opinions. That is called iconoclast. Next, we have a traveler who moves from one region or country to another. He keeps on moving from one country to another. That is called migrant. The person is called migrant. A small mischievous fairy. You must have heard a poem of an elf. So elf is a mischievous fairy, a very small mischievous fairy. Is very small in size. An arrangement of flowers that is usually given as a present. So you must have seen a bouquet that contains many flowers, and to make that bunch, we call it bouquet. So that bouquet of flowers, bouquet of roses, bouquet of flowers, this is called bouquet, not bouquet. This is called bouquet. Reminder of the place, that is called souvenir. Souvenir or souvenir. The inner soft part of a seed, fruit, or nut. This is called candle. An official inspection of a company's or individual's accounts. That is called audit. An auditor comes to do so. So auditor are the person to inspect. Auditors are the people who inspect your accounts, and audit is actually the inspection. That process is known as audit. Again, the same one word substitution come. The arrangement of flowers, that is bouquet. Safe to drink. Now, when we say the drinkable water. So the thing that is safe to drink means you are safe if you drink that particular thing that is potable. So this is known as potable. Something that lasts only for a short time, it is called ephemeral, and one that lasts for a long time, that is called eternal. This is for a long time. So eternal is a thing that lasts for a long time. The men living in the same age, that is called contemporaries. Make perfectly clear when you give some illustrations, give some exam, and you clear that out. That is called elucidate. To explain clearly, a herd of cattle, it means a group of cattle or animals driven in a body. That is called drove. So drove is actually a collective noun. This is a herd of cattle or animals driven in a body. Delaying doing something to a later time. That is called procrastination. When we delay in doing something, we postpone it for some other time. That is called procrastination or procrastination. A funeral procession, that is called cortege, is also a kind of prayer in a church at the time of funeral of someone. Widespread occurrence of an infectious disease crossing international boundaries. Now, this is pandemic, as we have seen a time of corona. So that is pandemic. A meal that is usually taken late in the morning that combines a late breakfast and early lunch. That is called brunch. Now we have 6 meals in a day. First, we have breakfast, then we have brunch, then we have lunch, then we have snacks. We call it evening tea as well. Then we have dinner that we have at night, and then we have supper. If we are having anything after the time of dinner or after dinner, that is called supper. So these are 6 meals in a day. So brunch is basically a time, a brunch is a kind of meal which we usually take after the time of breakfast and before the time of lunch. Now there are several prescribed time for all these meals. That is early 8 o'clock, 7 to 8 is breakfast. Then lunch is about 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. So if we take anything in between, that is called brunch. But many times it happens that we all take lunch and breakfast at the same time, or we combine breakfast or lunch only for one time, that is also called brunch. Then absence of government, this is known as anarchy, when there is no government, when only wealthy people rule, or we can say government is made by wealthy people only among themselves, that is called plutocracy. When only rule themselves people rule themselves. This is called autocracy. Democracy, we know that we see democracy in India, to the people, for the people, by the people. And anarchy is absence of government, when there is no government or the government is absent over there. One who loves wisdom and hence pursues it, that is called philosopher. One who is extravagantly romantic, chivalrous, and impractical, that is quixotic. The killing of a whole race. In the earlier session as well, I told you about killing of father is known as patricide, killing of mother is known as matricide, killing of sister is called sorocide, killing of brother is called fratricide, killing of other is known as homicide, killing of oneself is called suicide. Now this is genocide. Genocide is actually the killing of whole race or the people of same category or caste. So that is called genocide. A highly unpleasant, annoying, objectionable sound that is called nasty, which disturbs us. To the utmost or most absolute extent or degree, that is called quiet. Something which is easy to understand, that is called lucid. We can understand it easily. The supervising person during an examination. If you have taken an examination, you must have seen that many teachers or people come there to inspect or to supervise you all. Those are known as invigilator. An arrangement of parts or elements in a particular form or figure. This is called configuration. Before you buy any mobile or any machine like this, you always check its configuration because that is the arrangement of parts or elements in a particular form or figure. That is called configuration. Short account of real and interesting incidents. This is known as anecdotes. Now, there are several other genres as well. For example, we have biography, we have autobiography, we have memoir. Now, what are these? Biography, when a person writes a life account of another person, that is known as biography. When a person writes his own life's account or his personal details of his life, that is called autobiography by himself. It's an autobiography that is self-written. Memoir is actually when we when a person writes a particular incident which he wants to share with everyone, and he wants that part to be published publicly. So that particular part of his life which is very interesting and worth telling, that part is known as memoir. That is not an autobiography, but actually a small part of it, a small version of it, a very small version of it. Now, really coming from its stated, advertised, or reputed source. So that is called genuine or authentic. Younger looking skin, it is called rejuvenated. So this is called rejuvenated. A disorder that involves difficulty in reading, interpret words. It means it is refers it is it refers to reading abilities when one is not proper in reading or one who faces difficulty while reading. He is not able to read properly. This disorder is called dyslexia. If you have seen a movie that is Tare Zami Par, you must have seen a boy. He was facing this difficulty. This is called dyslexia. There is one more word that is dysgraphia. This is also a kind of disorder in a person. We find in a person. This is actually when someone faces difficulty in writing. When someone faces difficulty in writing, that is called dysgraphia. The difficulty in writing, that is called dysgraphia. Now, piece of enclosed land planted with fruit and trees. Now, there is a place which is basically closed, and in this planted in areas, planted with fruits and trees. It means the land is covered with plants and trees. This is called orchard. Now, one who loves to speak, that is called loquacious. One who speaks a lot is known as loquacious. So, a person who speaks a lot is loquacious, and one who speaks while talking, sorry, one who talks while sleeping, one who talks while sleeping, that is called somniloquist, which we have learned in the earlier session as well. Great sorrow or distress, this is called woe. So, woe is actually the sadness, the distress that one faces. A paper written by hand, this is called manuscript. The study of secret writing and coded language or words, this is called cryptography. So this is called cryptography. Not quite coinciding with the central position, this is called off center. Extremely high, something which is very, very high, that is called exorbitant. Changing frequently, something which changes frequently, that is called fickle, or we call it fickle. A person who change his minds frequently is called fickle minded. Now, public oratory skills, this is called elocution. Using an idea, term, or name frequently in casual talk, this is called bending or bending. A person who is unsure about God's existence, that person is known as agnostic. Now, he is a person who is unsure, means we cannot say that he does not believe in God or he believes in God. In fact, he is unsure. He don't know about God. He don't know about his existence. He neither consider nor disconsider God. One who believes in is known as theist. One who does not believe in God is known as atheist. But one who has no opinion about whether God is there or not, he is neutral to God or God's existence, that person is known as agnostic. So there is a difference among these three words. Extreme physical or mental sufferings, that is called agony. Something which can be copied, this is called imitable, and which cannot be copied. Something which cannot be copied. Now, which can be copied is known as imitable. Now, inimitable, this is called that cannot be copied. That can be copied, imitable, and if I add any to it, any as a prefix to it, it will become inimitable. It means it cannot be copied. Marked with the spots or smears or of color, this is called mottle. Causing or affected by anxiety or stress. Now, if one faces anxiety or stress, the effect he or he gets affected. So that cause is known as fraught. In a quick manner, we know well that for quick we use the word hurry. And in a quick manner, it will be hurriedly. A room filled with equipment for games and physical exercise. Now, to do physical exercise, you must have heard a word gym. Now, for that particular thing, we use the word gymnasium. Or you can say gymnasium. Gym is actually the acronym of this word, gymnasium. A group of things that have been hidden in some place, that is called cache. where things are hidden, or things are kept secretly. That is called cache. A soldier who fights for the sake of money. That is called mercenary. Who is only fighting for the sake of money. That is called mercenary. Fill up again. When we fill something, fill some vacant place again, that is called replenish. Now, basically, re means again. Performed or occurring as a result of a sudden influence, that is called spontaneous. We use verb spontaneously, means at the same time. Something that is modern or existing in the prevailing times, that is contemporary, which used to be in past as well. Now, ceremony of formally congratulate success. So, if one uh, achieves success, he he will be congratulated, or he's congratulated, or he is given some gifts. So many organizations do so for their students as well. That is to felicitate that. So felicitating. This ceremony is known as felicitation program or felicitating. Involvement with or influence in the community. That is called outreach. Unable to pay his debts. One who is unable to pay his debts. That person is known as insolvent, who is not able to pay his debt. One who has qualities like shyness and openness at the same time. That is called ambivert. Now we have heard two words, introvert and extrovert. Introvert, who is reserved uh, to his extent only. Extrovert, one who speaks out whatever comes to his mind. And ambivert is a person who knows how to control, in when to control and when to tell each and everything in our mind. So that is called ambivert. Ambi means both. So these were some one word substitutions that we learned in this session. I hope you come to know many words, and also you will learn these easily. Well, we'll again meet in the next session with some more words. Thank you very much.